Good morning students, my name is Monica and today I'm going to start with History chapter 6 of class 6, that is Kingdoms, Kings and an Early Republic. In the previous chapter I explained you about the sacrifices, Ashwamedha Yagya. I explained you about the Varnas. Let's recall, Varnas were divided into 4 groups. I explained you, that is Brahmins, Shudras, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Brahmins, they have to perform only the rituals and reading the textbook of the Vedas. And Kshatriyas, they were rulers, they have to fight the battle and they have to protect the people of their kingdom. Then we do have the Vaishyas, which we call Vaish also. These were those who were like farmers, herders and traders, all the professional people, and they were performing sacrifices. Now today we are going to cover Janpadas. What do we understand by the Janpadas? As you can see in the book, the term Jana means, it's a Hindi word, means people. And Pad, if we translate it into Hindi, we can call it the foot. So, people foot. Now what do we understand by people foot? The Rajas who performed these big sacrifices were recognized as Rajas of Janpadas rather than Jana. Means when the people were settling down, when they settle at one particular place, they set their foot over there, and the land where they are going to settle is known as Raja of Janpadas. So, the word Janpada, underline this, it is very important from the exam point of view. The word Janpada literally means the land where the Jana set its foot and settled down. Some important Janpadas we can see in map 4, we will take into consideration later on. Now, archaeologists have excavated as I explained you in the previous history first chapter. Let's recall. Excavated means when they dig the earth and find the things. So, archaeologists, they have found number of settlements in these Janpadas, such as Purana Killa in Delhi, Hastinapur near Meerut and Atranji Khera near Etah. The last two there are in Uttar Pradesh. So, these are the places. Hastinapur, as you have heard in Mahabharata also. Purana Killa you can see in Delhi, so they have found some traces from there. And they come to know, they found that people lived in huts and they were keeping the cattle also. Cattle like cow, all the soft animals, sheep, goat, etc. and other animals. They also grew a variety of crops, means they were doing farming also. Like rice, wheat, barley, pulses, sugarcane, sesame and mustard. These all are the crops which were grown over there. Clear? Is there a crop in this list that was not mentioned in chapter 4? They are saying any crop which is left, you can just take a look from chapter 4 and you can recall which one is missing. Now, let's move on to further. They made earthen pots. Some of these were grey in color, others were red in color. Means they were also interested in the poetry work. So they were preparing different pots. Earthen means made from the mud, and they were painting it with different colors like black, as I told you in the previous chapter. In this it's red one. One special type of pottery was found at these sites is known as painted greyware. Underline this, painted greyware is very important from the exam point of view. You can be asked the question that what was the pottery, what is the name of that pottery which was found during that time in the ancient time. Clear? As is obvious from the name, these grey pots had painted design, usually simple lines or in geometric patterns. Means they were designed with simple lines or different shapes were given to them. Now Mahajanpadas. Again from the word we can trace out, student. Maha means big. Like from Raja, it's in Hindi Maharaja. Okay, similarly from Janpadas, we can recall it, we can call it Mahajanpada. Maha means higher authority as compared to Janpada, bigger than that. About 2500 years ago, some Janpadas became important than others. They were getting the important positions and they were called Mahajanpadas. You can find some of them are shown, the Mahajanpadas and the cities. You can see here, like we have the different cities over here. If you take a closer look, I will give to you. So you can find Gandhara, different cities are there, Hastinapur and Meerut, all these of Janpadas. And Mahajanpadas, they got one particular city. They had a one capital city, many of which were fortified. Fortified means they were creating huge walls. They were protecting the city by creating huge walls which were made from wood, brick or stone, built around over there. So they were preparing, they were protecting their fort from the attacks of the enemies. So they built huge walls to get the prevention from the attacks of other enemies. Now, let's move on to further. Now, why forts were built? Forts were probably built because people were afraid of attacks. As I told you right now, people were getting scared from the attacks from the other kings and they need the protection. It is likely that some rulers wanted the protection also, and they want to show the rich and powerful they were. Means they want to show off their status. That they are very rich, very powerful, they have huge money, and they want to have impressive walls around their city to show their name. In this way, the land and the people living inside the fortified area could also be controlled. Underline, they can also control the people. Building such huge walls require a great deal of planning. A lot of planning is required to build any fort, any building. Planning must be there. Thousands, if not lakhs, of bricks or stone had to be prepared. Obviously, we have to take care of the bricks, the quality of the bricks, as I told you, the quality of the baked bricks they were using in the ancient time to build any fort, the great bath, etc. This in turn means enormous labor provided. Enormous labor was required. Probably thousands of men, women, and children were required, and resources had to be found for all this. Clear? Now, this is all for today. Next video, I will explain you the rest of the chapter. Thank you, students.